Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is, would it be crazy for the Clippers to let Kawhi Leonard walk in free agency? So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, make sure you go ahead and check out Dreamerspro Max, an online sports community, place where you can go and start basketball discussions, chat live during games. So many other cool things. If you guys are interested in that, we have that linked in the description below. And also make sure you go ahead and click the join button to join the channel to receive loyalty badges from us. Okay, anyway, let me get into this topic here. So this is an interesting one, and I wanted to get a little bit of research before I got started. But anyway, here we go. So the moment the news came out that Kawhi Leonard had surgery on his ACL on his right knee, I knew that it was going to solicit a range of emotions from fans, right? And people in the media. Some people were going to say, why did they wait so long? What took them so long? What does this mean? Will Kawhi Leonard ever be healthy again? You know, what should the Clippers do? And all of these different things, right? So what we decided to do was we immediately posted a poll on our channel because I knew what was going to ultimately happen when people would start saying. So we put a poll on our channel and we asked the members of our channel, should the Clippers move on from Kawhi Leonard? Thus far, that poll has roughly 2,000 plus votes. I think it's 2,300, 2,400 votes, right? And I remember initially when the first returns came in, it sounds like we're doing a campaign or something like this, or an election or whatever it is. And we're trying to get a consensus of what people think about a particular candidate. Anyway, so once the first return started coming in, we're talking about the first 50 to 100 votes. One of our members said, or somebody on the channel said, like, well, who in their right mind would say that they should trade away, like they should let Kawhi Leonard walk? And I responded to the guy. I said, just give it a few moments, give it like 30 minutes or so. Those votes will start coming in, and people will start saying that Kawhi Leonard, they should definitely let him walk. So after 2,000 votes, you guys can go look at the poll on our channel in the community section. About 70% of the people that voted said that the Clippers should keep Kawhi Leonard, and the other 30% said that they should let him walk, which essentially means that out of every 10 people, 3 people are saying that Kawhi Leonard, should walk. Now, I don't know if these are Clipper fans. I don't know if these are just casual basketball fans. I don't know if these are Laker fans. I don't know who specifically are the people that are voting for this particular poll, right? But that's pretty much the ratio that we have thus far after receiving those. And you guys can go there and cast your vote and see where, see how things pan out. Now, they should let him walk, right? And I think people are saying this. I think people say this for a few reasons. Number one, I think there are people out there that will always feel that way. There are people out there that are always going to feel like, no, they should let him walk, right? I think there's some people like that. And I think there's some people feel like somehow letting him walk would be the best thing for the Clippers to do, right? They feel like, okay, we can let him walk and things will work out. Now, personally, I think it would be absurd, absolutely absurd, ludicrous, if the Clippers let Kawhi Leonard walk. I think they should do every legal thing that is within the law to try to find a way to keep him. Because, first of all, before you even go too far, let's go back and look at Kawhi Leonard's numbers in the playoffs, just these playoffs before he got injured in Game 4 against the Utah Jazz in the second round. Up until that point, Kawhi Leonard was averaging 30 points per game, which other players were. He was shooting 57.3% from the field. That's leading the playoffs and leading players that took any basketball player that took at least 19 shots per game. He had the highest field goal percentage. And Skip Bayless recently said he had the number 1 PER in the playoffs, and he still does. And the guy's been playing basketball for some weeks now. He shot 39.3% from the three, let's say 40% from the three, 88% from the free throw line, was getting you 7.7 rebounds, 4.4 assists, and 2.1 steals per game. So let's go back to what I was saying. So those are his numbers in the playoffs. My question to the people that feel that the Clippers should let Kawhi Leonard walk, my question is, who are you going to find to replace Kawhi Leonard, to replace those stats? Who's the person? Name him. Who's the person you're going to go find, since you're willing to either let Kawhi Leonard walk or sign him and trade him, whatever you think? Who's the person you're going to go get to give you those type of numbers? Who's the basketball player? That's the first question you have to ask. And that's why I said I'm very interested in who are the people that are voting for him to walk. Because if it's a Laker fan, for example, then yeah, let him walk. Because a Laker fan knows that if he walks, the Clippers get worse, right? If it's a Clippers fan, then I really question your reasoning as to why you would do that. Is it being driven by emotion, or are you actually like thinking for your team, or you're just thinking for how you feel in that particular moment? Secondly, there are a group of people out there that will say, well, we got Paul George, and Paul George is good enough. No, he's not. Paul George is a very good player, but obviously he wasn't enough to get the Clippers over the hump. Number one. Number two, there would be no Paul George had it not been for Kawhi Leonard in the first place. Like, this is okay. The only reason Paul George is playing with the Clippers is because Kawhi Leonard is so good of a basketball player. He's so good, one of the best three players in the world, that the Clippers said, listen, we will do whatever it takes to get you here. You want Paul George? We will get you Paul George. The whole reason Paul George is in LA is because of Kawhi Leonard, right? Kawhi Leonard is that good that Paul George is like, man, you want me to do what? You want me to break my contract? I'm burning it up as we speak right now. I'm on my way to LA right now, right? So there would be no Paul George if there was no Kawhi Leonard to the Clippers. That's number two. So just dead that notion of, we got Paul. No, Paul George wouldn't even be there if it wasn't for Kawhi Leonard. And finally, Kawhi Leonard is better than Paul George, something that Paul George openly and readily admits regularly, that Kawhi Leonard is the better player. So that's the other point. And finally, help me understand, how do you improve your team by removing Kawhi Leonard off of it? Like, help me understand that. So you say Kawhi Leonard should walk, and by him walking, what? You're making the Clippers better? You don't get better by losing Kawhi Leonard. If you question that notion, go look at the Toronto Raptors. Toronto Raptors are great. They lost Kawhi. They're not going back to the finals. You don't get better by letting a player like Kawhi, by taking a player like Kawhi Leonard off your roster. So again, I question, who are the people that are voting that he should leave? If you're a Clippers fan and you're voting that Kawhi Leonard should leave, you need to go get a cold bucket of ice, put it in a bucket of water, or whatever it is, dip your face in it in a few seconds, bring it out, and wake the hell up. I don't know what you've been smoking, what you've been drinking. There's no reason at all that you will say Kawhi Leonard, they should let him walk. And you say, well, but he's injury prone. Okay. Who's not injury prone? I mean, he has an injury past. Who doesn't have an injury past? What's the player? That's relevant. LeBron James now has been injured a few times over the last few years. Kevin Durant just came off for torn, ruptured his Achilles tendon. Anthony Davis he's been injured, dealing with tendonitis or tendinosis or whatever it is. Stephen Curry was injured the year before. Now Kawhi, like, what are you talking about? He has an injury. Who doesn't? Again, that's why when people talk, you got to use these things here, which we call ears, and process what they're saying. Once you start understanding what you quickly hear that they're saying a bunch of nonsense. You think he has an injury past, and that's all a bunch of rubbish. Players get injured. Some get injured more than others, but players get injured. The top 5 players in the world, I just named them for you: Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant. If you want to throw in Anthony Davis, fine. Whatever you want to, or Joel Embiid, whoever it is you want to throw in. These guys have been injured. So for you to say he has an injury, again, it's a bunch of nonsense. You have to ask, who are the people that are saying Kawhi Leonard should walk? If it's Stephen A. Smith has a problem with Kawhi Leonard, so I take his comments with a grain of salt. If it's a Laker fan, it's obvious that they would not want you to have Kawhi Leonard. If it's a Clippers fan, again, the bucket is waiting for you. So there's no good reason, plausible reason that you would say that Kawhi Leonard should, well, he's a diva. Who isn't a diva? Who's the basketball player that's worth his salt that's not a diva? Who is the person? Right? Who's the person? I think the Clippers should move heaven and earth to get Kawhi Leonard to stay. if they want to win. And secondly, you traded away your future pick. So what are we talking about? There's some people even questioning whether or not the Clippers will make the playoffs, and you feel that the best thing you should do for your team is to remove Kawhi Leonard, and somehow, some way, that's going to improve your chances of winning a title? What? Kawhi is the best player the Clippers have ever had in NBA history. And you're talking about moving him? So I don't know what people are talking about. Kawhi Leonard provides too much of a premium, right? The Clippers were fighting in the playoffs, so Kawhi Leonard is there. The Clippers are in the finals right now, possibly leading them, winning it all. He provides that much of a premium. If you feel like the Clippers may not make the playoffs, you're basically saying in an indirect way that the premium that Kawhi Leonard provides to the team is so great that when you remove him off the team, the team may not even make the playoffs. You go from being a championship team to a team that doesn't make. Now, the people that feel that the Clippers are not going to make the playoffs, I think is an absurd notion, but whatever. So, for me, I think it is absurd to say that the Clippers should let Kawhi Leonard leave. There's no argument for it in the book. Zero. So, those are my thoughts and opinions, and what I want to know from you guys. What do you think? Do you think they should let him walk? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day. Catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.